Hello, warm welcomes to you. This is Nee B here with part 23 of the RFEFP series during lockdown. Now thank you for joining me today. I do hope you're keeping very well and safe and sane during this ubiquitous influence on the plane. Now let's get straight to this. Mad Mike Hughes was known as a daredevil, and most for flying his self-built steam rockets with flat earth written on them. Now back in 2002 he had set a Guinness World Record by jumping a Lincoln Town car stretch limousine about 31 metres. So his first steam powered launch a couple of years ago back in 2018, and he'd reached 1,875 feet, maximum speed of 350 miles an hour, and parachuted safely-ish back with a hard landing in the Mojave Desert. But unfortunately, his second attempt was very recently, on February the 22nd, 2020. Hughes, at the age of 64, died near Barstow, California during the crash landing. And it's very sad to watch, and my condolences obviously go to his friends and family. Yet questions do remain here, friends, because during the launch, the rocket's parachute, which was designed for landing, appeared to deploy early and detached early from the craft. Now, a freelance journalist called Justin Chapman, who was there witnessing it, said that the rocket appeared to rub against the launch apparatus, perhaps tearing the parachutes. Yet, the footage only seems to show one parachute falling back to Earth. So where were the others? I had to ask myself what happened to the reserves. There were certainly more parachutes in the first launch. However, friends, the launch event was also being filmed for the Science Channel television series called Homemade Astronauts. Homemade Astronauts, in which Hughes was to star in, amongst others. It also is a part of the Discovery Channel, friends. Now, Mike had also appeared in a music video for the Death Valley Girls song, One Less Thing Before I Die. And it was a 1 minute 53 long video directed by Kansas Bowling and featured footage of his first flat earth rocket launch back in Apple Valley. Now, Hughes was also the main focus of the 2019 documentary Rocket Man, Mad Mike's mission to prove the flat earth. Now, my friends, this may come as a bit of a shock to some of you, but I do feel as though it's my right to say, especially because I am as aesthetic, but he may not have believed in the flat earth at all. Now, was his so-called belief just fake and all for funding and publicity? Well, my friends, it does seem so, because it was only back in 2016 that Hughes himself had launched a failed fundraising attempt for a rocket launch that only earned around $310. Then, after professing his belief in the flat earth later that year, Hughes gained a lot of support within our community, as he was obviously doing something scientific for the FE movement. So he created his post-flat earth fundraising campaign, which of course reached its $7,875 goal. No problem at all, and a lot more. Following his death, a gentleman going by the name of Darren Schutzer, his actual public relations representative, my friends, may I add, stated that we used flat earth as a PR stunt. Flat earth allowed us to get us so much publicity and funding that we just kept it going. Now, I know he didn't believe in a flat earth and it was just a schnick, which simply means a comic theme or a gimmick of some kind, friends. Now, this is quite alarming. I felt a little cheated, because did Mr. Hughes believe in a flat earth truth at all? Or was it just a hoax belief to generate funds from a believable and impressionable flat earthers? to make money. Please do not think for a second, my friends, that I am talking ill of the dead, as we say. I am just bringing this to the table as I feel it is worth mentioning. Why did he use steam rockets? Why not a hot air balloon of some kind, like others have done? I know there is money to be made in the flat earth, hence why I operate on a no funding policy. This is just me, my friends. I do this out of total passion, total excitement for the truth to life and this plain earth. But was Mad Mike a believer in the flat earth truth at all? Well, it's up to you to decide. But one thing that we can be sure of, the first people to see the flat earth in human history at a very important time of our earthly science history, and seems to be largely forgotten, yet will always remain a real flat earth on the plane, because the true nature behind it all and the utter disbelief, because they were expecting to see something they did not see and could only speak of the truth because what they had seen had literally shocked the world. Now, on the 27th of May, 1931, Augusta Picard and Paul Kipfer took off from Augsburg, Germany. Both firm believers, my friend, in the globe theory, reached a record altitude of 51,775 feet, around 10 miles above the Earth. Concorde reached around 60,000 feet, friends. Now, during their flight, they became the first human beings in our human history to actually enter the real stratosphere, to witness the beauty of the Earth as she has never been seen before by another human being at that moment in history. They were the first to see it, friends. More importantly, they were able to gather substantial data on the upper atmosphere, as well as measure the cosmic rays from this height. Yet, in total disbelief and astonishment, they saw the Earth as she is flat and motionless. Remember, friends, they believed in a spinning globe and were at total disbelief, but had to speak the truth. They quoted, "It seemed like a flat disc with an upturned edge." In the FE community, this comes as no surprise, but to them, and here is the official statement, not tampered or misquoted, you can read it. It seems like a flat disc with an upturned edge. Now, Wikipedia and Google are not the best sources of information, my friends, to find the truth from, as a most important part of the truth is actually being able to tell it, to write it, or simply read it. Now, Wiki states in plain English this lie. Picard and Kipfer are widely considered the first people to visually observe the curvature of the Earth. Widely considered by whom, friends? Because where in that article does it state that? You have just seen and read the official words. So why would this be written as truth? Even Neil deGrasse Tyson, the plain Earth's so-called most famous scientist, now changes his ways and admits that you are not able to see the curve from anywhere on Earth, even at 100,000 feet up. He says it's flat. You can listen to him admitting this very fact. So you can believe him. Take his word, not me, if you wish to do so, as we only speak the truth on this channel. The Earth, no matter, my friends, at what height that you ascend to, will always be flat. Today, tomorrow, next week, and next year. Because it is flat. That's it. The Earth will always present itself as a flat, motionless disc plane because that is what it is. This is the truth, friends. Years of research into astronomy, geography, physics, quantum physics, astrophysics, mathematics, plane geometry, and most importantly, my friends, open eyes, senses, and common sense. A 3D globular bald Earth is a fairy tale of a make-believe computer-generated image. All the facts are there to see the plane. All the footage is there to see the plane. All the people are there to see the plane. Everything adhering and admitting to a truth that should not be scientifically possible. Yet it is. The spinning, globed ball Earth is all just smoke and mirrors, friends. Just unbelievable. A magic show offering plenty of heliocentrics for a sun price. Professor Picard also knew Amelia Earhart too. Here is a picture of them together. I wonder what they actually spoke about, my friends. Did he tell her about the Earth being flat? Did she already have this knowledge? Remember, friends, Amelia Earhart was the first female aviator to fly solo across the Atlantic Ocean. However, tragedy struck in 1937 during an attempt to make a very real circumnavigational flight of the plain Earth. Earhart and her navigator Fred Noonan disappeared forever over the Central Pacific Ocean near Holand Island, never to be seen again. Bringing me to mention another person, funny enough, Charles Lindbergh, who had been the first to make a solo transatlantic flight, making a non-stop flight from New York to Paris in 1927, 10 years earlier, proving the Earth was flat as he flew over no such thing as a curve from St. Louis to Paris, as the experts obviously said he would. He knew otherwise, friends. He had the knowledge, he set his plane to level and flew his course straight, proving the Earth is flat. The eagle had landed, they said. But unfortunately, he had his child kidnapped and murdered by a German person. So sad. And why? Did he prove something that he was not supposed to? The media called it the crime of the century. You can dwell a little bit more into this if you wish to. Here is an article from the Flat Earth newsletter written by our very own Effie Johnsons, Charles and Marjorie. The trouble is, my friends, had all of them proved something that they were not supposed to, being the first people to see the Earth for what it really is. When flying became possible for human beings, as flying over a ball Earth in these 1900 style planes wouldn't have had any such capabilities to calculate the so-called ball Earth formulae into a computer system. At the very magical 8" per mile squared nonsense. Not even contemplating for a second here, factoring in a mathematical calculation for the so-called Coriolis effect. They may all just, or they are just all believe science fiction beliefs, fictions. If flying was invented way back when Copernicus Pythagoras was alive, do you actually think that they would have come up with 1,000-mile-an-hour spinning bald Earth that must curve somewhere in order for the shape to be determined mathematically and scientifically? Because there is no doubt, my friends, on the latter has been already. It is a plain Earth surrounded by a lot more water than Earth land. What it is and what you are being told are two very different stories. Could Amelia at this time had used a globe calculation instead of a plain one, which unfortunately caused them to go off in a direction that was alien to them? Who knows? Was Charles Baby taken to keep him quiet? To break the man? Was Mad Mike a real flat earther after all? What do you think, friends? You make the choice. So to Mike, Augusta, Paul, Amelia, Fred and Charles, I hope you are all at peace. Thank you for your lives here on the plane and for being part of this upload. You will be remembered always. Just like you will be on the other side of the screen, watching. Thank you for your time on this upload. I can't wait to speak to you in the next one. Peace, love, and please stay safe in the current situation that we are facing here on plain Earth. I hope you all take that extra special care. I will see you in part 24. TTFN.